Welcome to the digging section, the cool part, because I have a backhoe. This is a 1960 something International 3414 4-cylinder gas backhoe. My dad left it to me when he moved to Florida, and I stayed in Vermont. And this thing is awesome. Just about every hydraulic hose on it leaks, so I go through about 5 gallons of hydraulic fluid for every 5 hours of use, which I think, in the grand scheme of things, is cheaper than renting equipment. So it worked out all right. Here, I'm just basically pulling up stumps. It was kind of a challenge during this time because the backhoe hadn't been used for a long time, and it didn't run quite well. I think I took the carb off 6 times to clean it and put it back on, and adjust the floats and put it back on, and check the throat size of the venturi. And I struggled and struggled. It was basically every time I would bring the arm out and scoop with it, the engine would die down, and I'd have to wait, and then it would pick back up, and then I could scoop the dirt. That was pretty much this whole process. So I was way relieved to find that fuel filter, which I hadn't actually seen before, was clogged. And so, strangely enough, when I was completely done digging with it, I found this problem, and now it runs great. So, it still did the job. I actually had a major failure with this thing, which I'll explain a little bit later, and then I'll post a video of how I repaired it. But it pretty much did the whole job that I needed it to do. And this section, I'm basically just scraping the dirt back so that I can see where the ledge is. And it was only probably about 6 inches down, so that was good.
So today, what we're going to be doing is moving that shed, hopefully down there. I'm gonna have to drag it somehow. So I think I'm gonna try and install something on the bottom so that it'll drag easier. So, so yeah, that's the next step. Once that shed is moved, then this stump needs to come out, that stump needs to come out, and this all needs to be excavated so we can see where the ledge is. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. It looks like the sun might poke its head out, but today it's going to rain all day. And I know that that backhoe is semi-useless when it's wet, when the ground is wet. So we're gonna see what we can do. So enjoy.
So in order to move this shed, I put 2 eye bolts in either side and hooked a chain onto each eye bolt. A couple trees were in the way here, so I just took them down. Hooked it on the backhoe at first. I could get it so far, but the backhoe wasn't strong enough to actually hold it up the hill, so I turned around and used the front of the bucket. So pulled this annoying stump out. God, that thing was hard to come out. I think that was an ash tree. Wow, that thing had roots so deep. You can still see me pulling all the roots out here. So I started to dig over here, and I was getting like 3 or 4 feet down, and just getting a ton of material, and had nowhere to put it. So you saw I just grabbed my tape measure and just did a quick double check as how far I needed to go. And it was a little tough with this backhoe because I couldn't move with a bucket of dirt, so I had to scrape from one location, put it in a big pile, turn the backhoe around, and push it forward out of the way. Certainly not ideal, certainly not efficient, but it's basically, it's what I had to do to get the job done. So, coming up, I broke my swing arm. You can see it. I moved locations, and then I did like 2 scoops, and then I swung down the hill, and I snapped the swing arm ram right off of it, right there, and lost all the fluid. I went out that day and got some new bolts and put it all back together, and this is that afternoon basically. I finished digging the hole that day. I have the video after this will actually be the whole repair to that swing arm ram, but didn't know if I was going to get it fixed. So this section, I was getting tons of dirt. I wasn't hitting ledge, so I was basically just going down about 3 feet and kind of trying to level it off there. It became tougher and tougher to find places to put the backhoe and the dirt, such that I could actually get the backhoe out when I was done. So I didn't actually go down in the hole. I kind of dug my way out of the hole, and that seemed to work all right. And eventually I had managed to dig my way all the way around the perimeter, and before I knew it, I turned around and I was done. So this is the top corner of the garage, and then it turns the corner, and this is a 36-foot long wall this way, and then it turns the corner, and there's 36 feet this way. This view isn't very good, but it kind of gives you an idea of what was left over when I was done. Just basically ledge and dirt.